Well, Ann Coulter, of course, the big best-selling author, a great columnist. You can go to AnnCoulter.com. You can get her column. A new one comes out tonight. Her book, In Trump We Trust, and all sorts of other great books. And follow Ann Coulter on Twitter. Ann Coulter, how you doing?
Fine, thanks. How are you, Mark Simone?
Very good. Well, I've been reading about you made. This is amazing. You made a big speech at Columbia University, of all places.
Yes, it was fun. The Columbia kids are always really smart. They still have the core curriculum at Columbia.
But that's a big thing to speak there. Usually you got to be like Ahmadinejad or somebody to be invited to speak there. You're the first.
Fair point, but this was not sponsored by the professors.
Oh, but you're one of the few.
It wouldn't be a cup of coffee.
I thought you had to be an evil dictator to speak there. So.
That's very good. No, it was fun, and because of the upsetting the little darlings on college campuses, we actually turned it into a debate with Rob Long, huge Hollywood producer, as moderator, and Mickey Kaus, who is a genuine dyed-in-the-wool left-wing liberal, on everything but immigration, which is mostly what we talked about. And, you know, it just reminds me more and more how enraging this is, that it was not very long ago Dianne Feinstein, Harry Reid, under Bill Clinton, the genuine civil rights hero, Barbara Jordan producing that report on immigration and how it's crushing the working class in America, and especially African Americans. The country, this was something we used to all agree on. It should not be a partisan issue. And I really wish Trump would give a fireside chat directly from the Oval Office, saying, look, you know, I was wild and you say a lot of things during the campaign, but I want to talk to you seriously about border security. This is our country. This is one thing we should be united on, that we need this to stop the heroin epidemic and the overdose deaths. There are now more overdose deaths per year from heroin and fentanyl, 98% of which is coming in across our border than there were each year, more deaths than in the entire course of the Vietnam War. So just, you know, bullet point, Trump already has full authority to build the wall on the border as the commander-in-chief. But I mean, this is something that I think he could appeal to all Americans on, and just do it.
Well, he is going to do it.
Oh, Mark Simone.
Okay. He's going to do it.
If he does, it's going to be because of tough love from the people who loved him during the campaign and loved his promises. But he's not going to do it if you Cro-Magnons keep saying, oh, it's 3D chess, it's coming, it's coming. No, this is a bad week for genuine Trump supporters. And he needs
Cro-Magnons? Hey, what does that mean, Cro-Magnons? Cro-Magnons. It doesn't sound good. What does it mean?
Yeah, it is funny applied to you, since you're the very molecular opposite. You're such a sophisticate. You don't even like the bars I go to.
I've never seen you in a bar. I can't even picture you in a bar.
Well, I hate when hosts get into private chit-chat.
Oh, okay.
Dinosaur barbecue. That's not exactly a bar.
Oh, I went there with you once. I like that place. It's just not the most convenient location. At the time, there was only one, and it was in Harlem. It took like 40 minutes to get there.
Oh. You also looked overdressed for the occasion. You're very sophisticated.
I looked overdressed. You look like Coco Chanel there. Anyway, we've gotten off topic. So,
yes, we have.
But let me ask you, you're not mad at the president? Oh, you are. Well, but when he starts the wall, you'll be okay then.
When he builds the wall, he will go right back to being Emperor God. I promise you. But what happened last week is very hard to sugarcoat. And yes, I hate Republicans in Congress too, but thank you, Donald Trump, and I'm not saying this sarcastically, for exposing most of my party during the presidential campaign. I mean, I already knew I hated hated my own party by and large. There were a few bright spots. I think it's worth mentioning. David Perdue of Georgia, Tom Cotton of Arkansas, Ron Johnson. There were a few Republicans, and I have to give him credit. Rand Paul, who was tweeting like mad, "Are you people insane? You don't even know what's in this budget." But it was a total Schumer-Pelosi budget. I mean, apart from the fact that it purports, and I don't know if your listeners know this, I hope they do, and I hope they're following me on Twitter. This bill purports to prohibit the president from building any more than a fence on any more than 33 miles of the border. It specifies 2 regions, the only regions where he's allowed to put up any border at all, and he can't use the prototypes. The bill actually says that. He cannot use the prototypes. He can only use the sad little pedestrian fences that already exist on some parts of the border. San Diego sector, he may replace those. So, he can repaint some rickety fences, at least according to this bill. He's not allowed to hire any more immigration agents capable of making an arrest. He can get about 100 bureaucrats who are allowed to work in Washington, but they can't make any arrests. He can't build any more detention centers for illegal aliens, according to the bill. ICE has actually been doing a great job. Finally, they were allowed to cut loose under Trump. And so they went ahead and they built detention facilities because they didn't have enough and just said, well, we'll just request funding for it in the next bill. Oh, no. The Republican House and Republican Senate would not pay for the detention facilities already built, and they're not allowed, they can't build anymore. That's insane. This is what he ran on.
Well, this will change. Listen, if you had anybody else build the wall, once they start the wall, it would take 20 years. At least with him, once he starts the wall, it'll go fast.
Exactly. I mean, look, all the things we loved about Trump during the campaign, among them were when he wants to get something done, he gets it done. When he wanted to build that golf course in Scotland, he's got to start thinking of the wall as building a golf course in Scotland. Wow, there were objections. The view was going to be ruined. He just went in like a bull in a china shop and got it all done. I mean, going back to the famous Wallman rink, he gets stuff done, and the fact that he acts like his hands are tied, and we're now almost 2 years into this administration, and he hasn't broken ground, and he just signed a bill that purports to tie his hands. And I say again, I got in late last night, and I was tweeting up a storm with these morons saying, "Oh no, the commander-in-chief has no authority to defend our borders or repel an attack." They really, I mean, I shouldn't have been so intemperate, but they deserve it.
I like that. You mean mad?
Yes.
Intemperate.
But they deserve it. Yes, I was calling them, drooling incontinent morons for thinking the commander-in-chief, even the War Powers Act, which there are a million law review articles on this. Every president has argued the War Powers Act is unconstitutional for restricting the president's ability to deploy troops. Congress has the right to declare war. The last declared war we had was World War II. And yet, the first President Bush, because one American was killed, sent troops into Panama and took out the military dictator, Manuel Noriega, brought him back and put him on trial, sent 20,000 troops to another country, didn't even warn Congress about it. How about the Grenada invasion?
Yeah.
Carter sent military ships to escort other ships. He said, no, War Powers Act doesn't apply because this was just escorting ships. I promise you, building a wall to defend our borders from an invasion that kills a lot more than 1 or 2 Americans every day.
Maybe he's just saving this till after the midterms.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. That's fantastic. Do you know what happens in the midterms if he keeps waiting?
Oh, that's true. Hey, we're almost out of time. I just want to ask you one thing. Roseanne, the first TV show with a pro-Trump character, it debuted last night. We're just getting the ratings. It's going to be record-breaking ratings. It's through the roof in numbers.
Yeah, I really love her. And one thing, I tweeted this last night. Please go to my Twitter feed and look at it. Somebody had told me about it at dinner last night. She and John Goodman were on The View, and they went back to the community where it was supposed to be based on. They were asked, well, how has it changed since you started Roseanne? And they said, this used to be 100% white working class community. No white people there anymore.
But it's interesting. 18 million people watched this last night. So maybe these TV executives will think there is a pro-Trump crowd out there they might want to cater to.
Yeah, well, maybe the president would think there's a pro-Trump crowd out there.
All right, we'll get you your wall. I hate to say we're out of time, but everybody can we still mention the book In Trump We Trust, or are you
yes,
withdrawing that from the market?
Read it.
Oh, well, okay. Everybody read that and go to AnnCoulter.com. Make sure you follow Ann Coulter on Twitter. Very important you do that. And new column comes out tonight. And Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Good to talk to you, Mark Simone. Bye-bye.
All right, take care.
We will make America great again.